Today we're talking to St Albans City manager Ian Allinson down in Kent, where the Saints have gone down to a 2-1 National League South defeat to Tonbridge Angels. Going into the match, Ian, Tonbridge were bottom of the table. I thought in the first half we had two decent chances. Beyond that, I thought we were second best pretty much all afternoon. We are now bottom of the table, and on that evidence I don't think we can complain.
No, I think you're right, David. I said that at half time. We had, just before they scored, we had the two best chances, didn't take them, and then probably the one bit of quality in the whole of the first half. He's took the free kick and got it over the wall quite quickly. But I didn't think there was, between both sides really, there wasn't much. I thought they were probably on the front foot better than us. I felt they wanted to win the game more than us, and I said that at half time. And we had a little reaction in the second half, but we've had to make some changes. We had to go and chase the game, and we've just left ourselves a little bit exposed at the back, and that's something we've been doing all season. We can't leave ourselves exposed at the back trying to chase a game. They obviously got the second, we got something back with about 4 or 5 minutes to go, but by then the damage had already been done.
The goal we got was totally out of the blue really. It's not as if it come after any pressure. We just didn't seem to be able to create anything at all.
No, we had bodies in midfield. We didn't really look like we could pass the ball today. It was as I said there, I felt we were second best all over. So there's got to be a lot of soul searching over the weekend, I think, and a lot of hard work to be done to turn this around. Because with what I see today, I didn't enjoy some of the stuff I've seen today, and we've certainly got to improve from where we are, because I felt there for long periods we were second best, and I think you summed it up in one go with your opening statement.
With that side, I know you've got injuries, but it doesn't look balanced, does it? It's something about it just doesn't look right, let alone the quality that's in there. Yeah,
I mean, I think early on, as I say, if we go 1-0 up, would it have been a different game? I don't know. We've had the two chances to score. We've worked hard on what we've done, but again, we're passing the ball back to from the halfway line back to the goalkeeper all the time, and that can't be right. We've got to be looking to get into holes. We've got to be looking to just try and exploit pockets and get balls in wide area. In the end, I just felt we went a little bit long. We just kept chasing it and chasing it and chasing it, and we didn't pass the ball enough, I felt. And with the quality we got in there, with the players we've got in there, and we should be looking to pass the ball more than what we did. And we didn't. We just started going long. I think it suited their centre halves, and the centre halves were comfortable getting the ball back into an area. And as I say, the longer the game went on, the more we had to go and chase it and chase it and chase it, and we just left ourselves exposed. To be fair, Cal, we spoke before the game that he'd probably be the one that would stick the ball in the net, and it was a good finish from him. At the end of the day, we have to accept that. But again, there's some long soul searching has to happen this weekend, I think, from everybody, in terms of where we are, what's got to be put right, and what we've got to do. Because, as I say, I think you're right. Long periods there, we were second best, and I just felt they wanted it a little bit more than us.
You mentioned Cal da Costa's goal there. It really was a great finish. We know he can do that, but of course, it's consistency with him, isn't it?
Well, it was, and that's why probably we wanted him to stay at the end of the season, but we wanted to play more games. But the moment we exposed ourselves to the counter attack, which was happened, we're going to give him chances to go and punish us, which is what he's done. During the game, I didn't think he opened himself up too much to us. We were nice and tight. I didn't think Dean really had a save to make really the whole game. If you look at it, he's conceded 2 goals, and I don't know. You have to probably tell me what save he's had to make. So I can't think of a decent save or something he's had to go and make a save to keep them from scoring. There's a couple of little balls that have gone across the face of the goal, and I know he had one in early on, but he hasn't had to save to make. Their keeper's had 2 saves to make, and he's made them. But again, as I say, in a game that's going to be tight, a game there's going to be a little bit of nerves. There's quite a lot riding on it, because them 3 points are what keeps teams above each other. And the one thing, as I said before the game, is that we come away from here today and we're not bottom of the table, and unfortunately we've not been good enough. And we've got Cup next week, so it's a chance there to stay away. But we've got to turn this league form around very, very quickly, because at the moment it's not good enough. I think we've got a good squad, but for some reason we're not moving the ball quick enough. I watch us train on Thursday night, and I know you never win a game of football on a training pitch, but some of the things we do in training are outstanding, and we take it into a pitch on a Saturday, and we're not the same in terms of the way we move the ball, in terms of the movement of the players, the way they create chances and score goals, and some things from Thursday night till tonight today's gone wrong. And it's something we have to look at. Is maybe the shape, like you say, wasn't right, but I felt it worked for long periods today in terms of nullifying their strengths. In terms they played 2 up front, we were quite comfortable, apart from one really bit of magic from the free kick. Apart from one or two that got in round the back of us and got crosses in, they haven't really opened us up at all, and I felt quite comfortable. And I always felt in that first half we might nick something, and as I say, the two chances we had, we haven't taken them.
On a day like this, clutching at straws, looking for some positive news, the one good thing, Joey Schifano coming off the bench as a substitute to play. All right, he didn't score today, but that's got to be a bonus for us in the weeks ahead.
Yeah, he's a little bit tender. We didn't want to play him for as long as what we did today. We was only looking at half hour, and he's a little bit tender at the moment. So we've got to see how he reacts before Tuesday. But again, with the injury to Tom so early, I didn't want to put another defender on when we had James Klotsky on the park. So, but again, we're going to have to see where we are. We have Tom and obviously Joe on Tuesday night in terms of how the ankle settles down. But as I said, they are injuries we have to worry about. I think we've got more things to worry about than a couple of ankle injuries, which is going to be resolved in a 10-day, 2-week period where the other side of it has got to be resolved very quickly.
It's an unusual one, wasn't it? Tom Benders, he went to clear the ball and clearly you could see the ground just gave way under his foot.
Yeah, and it's his standing foot that's played up, so he's obviously gone away, and as you say, it was a massive hole there, I think, but that's football at the end of the day. You're going to get injuries like that, and we have to accept that and get on with it. And that's not the reason why we've lost today.
We didn't get to see him today, he stayed on the bench, but there's one new addition to the squad, Jamie Fielding from Stevenage. Yeah,
Jamie's coming, obviously, just in terms of some of the shape we've been playing and the way we want to play it, and he can play in, again, 2 or 3 positions, so, it's a good addition to the squad. He's at a good age, he's been playing at Hastings, and they've signed him from Hastings, so he knows about non-league football, and he's a boy that really wants to come and do well, and wants to obviously put a good shift in terms of where he plays, what he does. He's got a big energy about him. He's a really fit boy. So, we've got to look at him. It was difficult because it wasn't finalised until sort of midday yesterday. So we need to have a look at him, what he's like. But we've seen him in 1 or 2 games, and I've liked what I've seen. So I think he'll be a good addition to us, what we need, especially over the next couple of weeks.
The next league game isn't until Tuesday week. Next Saturday we're at Welling in the FA Trophy. Well, we know we can beat them. We've done it once this season.
Well, exactly, and as I say, some of the positives today, we've nullified some of their chances, but we haven't created a lot of self today. I think we've had, I'm not even sure if we've had a corner today. That's not like us. We usually get 4 or 5 corners a game. We've never really had a good penetration in the final third today, and when we did get in there, I think some of our quality, I think we've had two free kicks out wide, even one in the last minute there. We put a great quality free kick in there that could we end up drawing 2-2. Would we have deserved it? I don't know. At the end of the day, 2 late goals keeps you in the game. As I said, did they do enough to win the game? They probably did, because they probably worked harder than us. But in terms of chances created, they probably they didn't create much more than us in terms of what the goalkeeper had to save. But again, I felt, you said it, they probably wanted a little bit more than us in the overall picture of the game. But we've had chances to put good balls in the box. We haven't done it. We've not missed the first man out. We've not missed the second man out, and we haven't had enough bodies going across attacking the ball, and that's probably the downfall why we haven't gone and got a second goal.
We spoke before the game about the pitch. You said how soft it was, and that led to Tom Bender's injury. But that incident apart, it didn't really have an outcome on the game, did it?
It's the same for both teams, David. We know we have to accept it. We know what the pitches are going to be like this time of year. It's always going to be a little bit softer in areas. The amount of rain we've had in the last sort of 5 or 6 weeks, it's surprising at times some of the games are on today because of that heavy rain we've had. But we've got to look at everything in terms of, we can't blame pitches. We've got to blame ourselves at the end of the day, including myself and everybody involved. We haven't been good enough up to this stage of the season, and that's something that we've got to try and put right as quickly as possible, because I can't stand on the sidelines and watch what I've seen today. It just wasn't for me. Wasn't an Ian Allinson team, and Ian Allinson's got to come to the table now, and Ian Allinson's got to make some changes, and he's got to go and bring some bodies in that do want to play for the football club with an atmosphere, with a pace, with a want to willing go to win games of football, and I didn't see that today, and that's really disappointing me. I stand here today, and I'm really disappointed. I'm disappointed with the way the season's gone so far, but I'm more disappointed with the way we've not turned up today, and as I say, first thing I'll do is look at myself in the mirror. The first thing I'll do is come out and want to drag this club forward. But we've got some players in there that really do need to answer whether they want to be here or not, because for me that wasn't good enough today. And we can accept that people are trying, but we need more than that. We need more than that. And if we need to turn this season around very, very quickly, because at the moment it hasn't been good enough.
On a totally different matter, Ian, since we last spoke, your son's taken a bit of a step up in the game. Lee's gone from Biggleswade to Hendon. Looks a good move.
Yeah, I think it's the right move for him at his stage of his career. As I say, it's you don't realise until it actually happens. I think sometimes you don't realise how big the club Hendon is really, and the history it's got. And I think that comes to the front in terms of what's happened over the last sort of 7 to 10 days, in terms of what he's shown me and some of the paper material, in terms of the advertising, in terms of some of the stuff that's been done in some of the local press. So yeah, good luck to him. As I say, I think it's a good move for him. It's a big club. I mean, he's obviously got a job on his hands, the same as I have here. But you know, the one thing with him, and I know what he's like, he won't take second best. He'll want to get them up the league, and you know, I've got to do that here, because at the moment, as I keep saying it, you know, we haven't been good enough. And I look at the play. I think we've got a good squad here, but for some reason we're not really gelling as a side. We're not playing with that same fluency that I see in training, with the energy I see in training. And you know, as I said to you, on the 26th of December this year, I've done 30 years as a manager, and I've certainly not changed in terms of what I do and the way I go about myself. So you know, I'll keep doing what I'm doing, and I'll keep trying to drag this team through it. But at some stage, people have to look at themselves and say, right, I've not really done enough for the club this year, and that's not good enough, because you know, the club wants to move forward. The club's desperate to do well in the league and do well in the cups, and at the moment we fail from that side of it.
Lovely, thanks so much, Ian. So, reminder then, Saints next in action on Saturday the 23rd of November, when we head back to Kent for our first successive away match in this county. FA Trophy, third round qualifying, away to Welling United. Kick-off at Parkview Road is at 3 p.m.